Alright, hello everybody. Welcome back to All the Words She Wrote. What was it? Last time, we finally met our idol. She didn't want us to live and work with her. She didn't want to deal with us at all. But now we're here, and she gave up because our aunt said, nah, you're gonna keep us here to do all your housework so you can focus on your work. And that is what we are doing. This isn't Please Be Happy. No, it's not. But there's a few characters that have the similar names. Audio's good? Okay, thank you. Then we shall begin. Alrighty, here we go. So, it's dinner time. Let's see how they interact for the first night staying at her idol's home. I whip up a quick dinner with whatever food items I can scrounge in Hijiri's kitchen. She doesn't have much to hand, but I'm able to find a few eggs at the back of her fridge. They're only a few days past their sell-by date, a couple of tomatoes, and a large bag of white rice. I wash the rice, drain it, and stick it in the rice cooker. I fiddle with the cooker for a few moments, trying to turn it into a little avail, until I realize it's not even plugged in at the wall. This discovery is almost as baffling as Barney, shut away inside the futon cupboard. Why isn't Hijiri's rice cooker plugged in? Doesn't she use it? What in the world does she live on if not rice? Her appearance is pretty distinctive, sure, but I thought Hijiri was supposed to be Japanese. I thought Sei was exaggerating, but it really does seem like Hijiri subsides on nothing more than instant noodles. Surely that can't be healthy. It's no wonder she's so skinny. She's wasting away. Hijiri might have appreciated it, but I really do need to get some food into her stat. I wash and cut the tomatoes as the rice fries and throws them into a pan. Hijiri doesn't seem to have any cooking oil, so I have to dampen the pan with water. I crack the eggs and toss them into the pan next, and season with some salt, which miraculously I was able to find in a cupboard. There's no pepper though, nor any herbs. Tonight's dinner will be on the plain side, but I can't help that. I'll have to go shopping tomorrow. That's another thing to add to the to-do list. I take the rice out of the cooker when it's finished and add to my fried tomatoes and eggs. I prepared quite a lot of food despite having so little in the way of ingredients. There should be more than enough for both Hijiri and I, which is a relief. It's not like there are any side dishes to pad this out. My mother would rather commit ritual suicide than bear the shame of serving nothing but a simple tomato and egg stir-fry for dinner. But what else can I do? Hijiri doesn't have any vegetables to pickle or any meat to prepare. She doesn't even have any miso paste. I thought that was like a common household staple. Then again, I thought most people kept their rice cookers plugged in. Hijiri seems to defy everything I know about ordinary people. She really is an enigma wrapped in a mystery. I plate up the food which is steaming and take one of the plates upstairs. Then I knock on Hijiri's door and wait for a reply. I wait and wait and wait, and then... Yes? A sleepy voice responds through the sliding door. What is it? I brought you dinner. It's pretty simple. These aren't any side dishes, but it should be filling enough. Do you want to eat with me? I try to keep the hope from my voice. I don't know Hijiri all that well, but I know her well enough to predict what her reply will be. No, it's fine. I'll eat it in my room. Bring the food up for me. I'm way ahead of you. If I thought there was any chance Hijiri might grace me with her presence downstairs, I wouldn't have bothered carrying her food up to her. Can I come in? No, you can't. Leave the food outside. I'll fetch it. Won't you even let me see your face? Why would you want to? You saw it earlier. I assure you, it hasn't changed. I know, but it's been a couple of hours and, well, I don't know, it's kind of lonely. You'll get used to it. But stop bothering me. I'm busy. I told you to knock on my door unless it's an emergency. I'll eat it when I'm hungry. Now go. Shoo. Alright. I can tell there's no point arguing with Hijiri since she won't even show me her face. It doesn't really feel like I'm actually talking with her, but the door. My earlier goodwill disintegrates like a damp tissue. The smiling Hijiri I saw earlier might as well have been a dream. Sighing, I retreat downstairs. I eat my food in the dining room alone, then wash the dishes when I'm done. It's dark outside now. The sky is sprinkled with stars. I head out into the garden to feel my futon. It's still damp as I expected, but it's not wringing wet. I should be able to sleep on it, though it'll be uncomfortable. Kind of like the rest of today, actually. I don't know why I expected anything else. All of a sudden, I feel exhausted. I take my futon from the line and head back inside. I lock the door back behind me and haul the futon upstairs, all the way to the end of the hallway. When I pass by Hijiri's door, I pause. The plate of tomato and egg stir-fry I left outside her door has gone. She must have grabbed it after all. I hope she ate it, and if she did eat it, I hope she liked it. I doubt she'd tell me that, though. Even if she did, she's not a complimentary kind of person. I could work my cute butt off on her behalf, and I bet she refused to grace me with so much a simple, well done. Hijiri seems to think my whole existence is a burden. Will she ever come to like me? I let myself into my room with a sigh and toss my futon down on the floor. The futon's all wrinkled, but I don't bother adjusting it. I'm too tired. I change into my pajamas and sink into my futon. It's more comfortable than I thought despite being damp, or maybe it only feels comfortable because I'm so tired. I feel so out of it. All of a sudden, I probably sleep on a bed of razors if I with no other option. What a day. I mumble to myself, half eyes lidded as I stare at the ceiling. I didn't think things work out quite like this. Hijiri's a pretty interesting person. Can I really make her happy? I don't want her to hate me. The seconds slip by like sand through an hourglass, and soon my thoughts begin to drift. My eyelash quiver to a close. Then I fall into a deep and dreamless slumber. I wake up early the next day to the chirping of the birds. I don't exactly feel well rested. My damp futon might be to blame for that, but I don't feel as run down as I did the day prior. I picked out an outfit for the day, then head to the bathroom, my clothes looped over my arm. The hallway's pretty long and it's lined with doors. I thought I knew where Hijiri's bathroom was after her brief tour yesterday, but my poor sense of direction betrays me. Initially, I let myself into one of the many guest bedrooms, which is just as sparsely furnished, if not more so than my own. The tatami mats in here are stained too, as I expected, and an unpleasant odor permeates in the air. I wrinkle my nose. I've got my work cut out for me. I slide the door of the guest room shut and then try another. This door leads to yet another abandoned guest room, but the third time, as they say, is the charm. It's with a satisfied sigh I let myself into the bathroom. I was starting to worry I might never find it. Hijiri's home is something of a maze. There are so many rooms, it's enough to make my head spin. I'm not at all accustomed to this space. Hijiri's house is so huge I have to wonder how much it cost. She was probably able to get a good price for it, even the crappy location, but maybe she didn't buy it. She could have inherited it. Maybe this house belongs to her grandparents. It has that old-timey sort of vibe to it. There's something about the tatami flooring and the beige walls that makes me think of old folks. I'd like to ask Hijiri how she ended up here, but I doubt she'd answer. She's a woman of many mysteries. It's with thoughts such as these running through my head that I strip off, then step into the shower. I'd rather take a bath, but I don't think I have the time. I don't think I trust the tub much either. It looks grimy. When was the last time it was cleaned out? A month ago? A year ago? Mentally, I take a note to clean the tub. It's just another item to add to my ever-growing list. Ugh. I exhale. There's no end to the work to do. Can I really handle all of this? I'm starting to doubt myself, but no! I won't let myself give in. I'm my mother's daughter, and if anybody knows their way around a bucket and a mop, she does. I bet my mother could get this house spick and span in a half a day or less. I'm not as crazy efficient as my mother. She spends a lot of time looking up housewifely tips and tricks online, but she's taught me well. I'm not bad at cleaning, I just don't like doing it. What I like doing seems kind of irrelevant now, though. I agreed to become Hijiri's housekeeper, and that's just what I'll do. I'm going to give it my all. I step out of the shower and tie myself dry, then throw on my clothes. My hair combed and my teeth brushed, I deposit my pajamas back into my bedroom and head downstairs to start on breakfast. That was the plan at least, but I should have figured. The fridge is almost bare. I must have cleared out the ingredients last night when I made the simple stir-fry. I used the last of the eggs and the tomatoes and thought there were a few veggies shunned to the back of the fridge. None of them look edible. The pack of chestnut mushrooms in particular seems pretty suspect. I take the mushrooms out of the fridge, then give them a hesitant sniff. Ugh. Forget simply looking suspect. They smell positively criminal. I'm not a fan of mushrooms anyway, but I wouldn't eat these even if I was paid a cool 1,000,000 yen. Yeah, there's no way these are good. They're going straight into the trash. I toss the long-expired mushrooms out alongside a few potatoes that are sprouting feelers, a couple of mushy bell peppers, and a carton of expired milk. After my extensive clear-out, the fridge is left with not a whole lot. There's precisely 1 jar of apricot jam with a sticky lid, a slab of butter, and some salted squid strips, and that's it. There are no essentials in here. There are no eggs, no meat, no veggies. It's a barren wasteland. I really consider making toast for breakfast with the jam and butter, but a rifle through Hijiri's cupboards put a pay to that idea. Hijiri doesn't have any bread, though she does have a bag of rice crackers. I can't exactly spread apricot jam on those. The flavor profiles don't match up. There's not much in these cupboards at all, save some dried snacks and a bunch of instant noodles. This is so sad. It's almost heartbreaking. How does Hijiri live like this? This can't be healthy. I know she told me not to judge her, but I shake my head. I guess breakfast is a no-go for now. I have to go grocery shopping before I can do anything else. But I don't know where the nearest store is. Maybe Hijiri can tell me. I wonder if it's in walking distance. I close the door of the fridge with a decisive thud. I'm not delusional enough to hope the ingredients for a hearty breakfast will suddenly spawn into existence, then leave the kitchen. I doubt Hijiri will appreciate being bothered so early, but this is an emergency. We're dangerously short on rations, and I can't just let her starve. What sort of housekeeper would I be then? Did you really have to wake me up so early? Yes, I had to. This is an emergency. I stare at Hijiri from across the table, my arms folded. It's been about an hour since I knocked on Hijiri's door, imploring for her presence. She must have been asleep when I knocked. Not that that's a surprise, because it took her a while to respond. When she did, her voice was thick and sluggish, as though she'd only just been pulled from a dream. Yes, what is it? I told Hidri about the chronic food shortage, but she didn't seem to understand the severity of it. I think she must be used to it. I don't see why that's a big deal. It can wait. Now leave me alone. I'm tired. Hidri tried to shoo me away, but I was persistent. I refused to let Hidri push me around. It mightn't matter to you, but it does to me. I can't cook for you, Hidri, if I don't have anything to cook with. You need to wake up and show me where the nearest supermarket is. The map app on my phone isn't working properly, and I'll get lost on my own. After a bit of toing and froing, I was finally able to convince Hidri to leave the warmth of her bed behind. It took quite a bit of doing, though. It was like pulling teeth. Eventually, however, Hidri reassured me she'd come downstairs to the living room so we could discuss our plan of action. Alright, I'll hold you to that, but don't take too long. It's 8 o'clock already. My mother always serves breakfast around this time. Any later, it'll throw off the rest of the day meals plans. Don't go back to bed, you hear? Sure, whatever. I won't. You promised? I promise. Hidri reassured me after a long pause, but I think she must have been crossing her fingers when she said that. I trapezed down the stairs to the living room, and there I waited for her, all obedient-like. It would have been nice to sip a cup of green tea while waiting, but there was no tea leaves to be had. During this time, there was nothing for me to do. Hidri kept me waiting so long. Excuse me. I started to wonder where she had fallen into some kind of rift in the space-time continuum. Eventually, after half an hour, I felt obliged to head back upstairs and knock on Hidri's door for a second time. What are you doing in there, Hidri? Getting ready shouldn't take this long. You haven't fallen asleep again, have you? You promised you wouldn't. You have to eat 1,000 needles for that. It's fine. A groggy voice Hidri replied after a long pause. We didn't say the whole mantra. We never linked fingers. I don't even have 1,000 needles in my home anyway. That's a good point. I guess most people don't. Hidri shooed me away again, back to the living room. I resumed my position at the table, waiting and waiting and waiting until she finally saw fit to make an appearance in all her glory. Well, I say glory, but Hidri looks like she did just yesterday. She's wearing the same crumpled tracksuit again, and her brown hair has been tied back into 2 messy buns. Hidri's under-eye looked dark, but mostly from the lack of sleep. And though her skin is darker than mine, I wouldn't describe it as healthy. She doesn't look pallid exactly, and she's definitely not pasty, but there's an unhealthy kind of tinge to Hidri's face that suggests she hasn't been getting enough sunlight. If she was a flower, she'd be drooping, her anemic leaves half chomped by caterpillars. Right now, Hidri is sitting off to one side in the corner of the living room. The sunlight can't quite penetrate. Her head is bowed, her expression sulky. I can't help but wonder whether she's some kind of vampire. I'm almost tempted to believe that based on how barren her fridge and kitchen cupboards are. If she's a vampire, it stands to reason she wouldn't need to eat food like us boring ordinary humans. All those instant noodles and rice crackers would suggest otherwise, though. You think somebody had died based on the way you're carrying on. So, what's the problem? I already told you what the problem is, at length when I was knocking on your bedroom door. We're all out of food. Yes, that rings a bell. I remember you saying that, though I was half asleep at the time. I really don't appreciate being bothered so early in the morning, you know. It was only 8 o'clock when I woke you. Yes, so like I said, it was early, horribly so. Most working adults wake up at 7, you know. Most working adults are masochists. I guess I kind of agree with you there. I'm kind of lazy myself, and I love lying in. There's something alluring about a nice, warm bed. I think my bed must be my number 2 waifu, right after Princess Liluna, of course. I never liked waking up at 7, but 8 doesn't seem too unreasonable. What time do you usually get up anyway? I don't know. I don't have a set time. Whenever I feel like it, I guess. But if you had to estimate? Around midday, I guess. Midday? Mm-hmm. Hijiri shrugs carelessly. It can be earlier or later than that, though. Sometimes I sleep all day and wake up at night. Wow, I was only kidding earlier, but now I'm really starting to suspect something's afoot. Hijiri's not actually a vampire, is she? My mother doesn't let me hear the end of it if I wake up at 9 o'clock, let alone the middle of the day. She scolded me for wasting my time. Then it's a good thing your mother isn't here. She sounds annoying. She can be, yeah, but I have to side with her on this one. It can't be healthy, you know, keeping such strange hours. It's no wonder you're so tired all the time. Ugh. Hijiri scowls, her skinny arms folded across her equally skinny chest. I don't believe I asked you for your input. But I'm worried about you. I don't know how you can get any work done at all if you don't have some kind of schedule. I get my work done just fine no matter what Say thinks. I might have missed 1 or 2. Or maybe 3 or 4 or 5 deadlines. Aha, so she admits it. But things always get done in the end. At a detriment to your health? Who cares about that? Say might, but nobody else at Horizon does. I'm nothing but a means to make money. Elforest has more value than I do. I might be its creator, but I can always be replaced. I'm expendable. No, that's not true. I'm so incensed I find myself slamming my palms against the table for emphasis. I remember Say doing the same thing yesterday while I was in the middle of lecturing Hijiri. I guess there's something about Hijiri's deadpan demeanor which invites fiery retorts like this. I almost feel obliged to compensate for her apparent lack of emotions, but maybe I'm overcompensating? Who can say? I love Elforest because you're the one writing it, Hijiri. It wouldn't be the same without your vision to guide it. I've read a few other light novels, but they all feel shallow compared to Elforest. Nobody else would do a better job at writing Liluna. If you get hurt, or I don't know, die, her story arc will never get finished. Not the way it should be. That's why you have to look after yourself. Your fans all love you. Silence descends after this little outburst of mine. I sit back on my haunches, my face flush. Adrenaline is coursing through my body, and my hands are shaking. I always get like this when I talk about Elforest. No other piece of media gets me this worked up. I've explained my feelings about it to Nina countless times, but she doesn't get it. She says my obsession with Elforest is weird. I hope that Hijiri at least understands where I'm coming from. Surely she should, even if nobody else does. Hijiri's the one who wrote Elforest. Without her, Princess Liluna wouldn't exist, or Itsuki, or Astra, or Luz, or Cornelia, or Vita, and all the other characters I love so much. The silence continues uninterrupted, save for my own ragged breathing. Hijiri looks at me askance, her lips pursed, her face isn't quite expressionless, but I can't get a good read on it. What's going through her head? Idris sighs, then says, I'm glad you feel so strongly about El Forest, but could you maybe dial it down a notch? It's too early for all this. My head hurts. Oh, right. I'm sorry. I smile, abashed, and press my index fingers together. I didn't mean to be so, bombastic. It kind of happens whenever I talk about Elf Forest. I love Elf Forest a lot. I want to see how it ends really badly, but only if that ending's written by you. It wouldn't be the same if somebody else took over. That's why I want to look out for you. You need to sleep well and eat well if you're going to write well. I've been living like this for the last 3 years, and it's not that particularly detrimental effects on my performance. I'll be fine with or without you. I'm not a child. I know that. I just want to poke your nose into my affairs and give me advice I didn't ask for. Hijiri's jaws tightens. I thought I warned you about that. When I choose to wake up is my own business. It doesn't concern you. That's where you're wrong. I'm really concerned, both as your housekeeper and your #1 fan. Don't fight with me on this, Hijiri. If anybody has the right to be worried about you, it's me. You can believe whatever you want, but I have no obligation to humor you. You can worry about me if it'll make you happy, but don't force your concerns onto my shoulders. I'm not interested in them. But, Hijiri... But nothing. This conversation is over. Hijiri looks away crossly, her eyes narrowed. My concern must have gotten through her, but not in the way that I'd like. She doesn't look remotely pleased about it. It's clear, just a glance at her, that she's pissed. This isn't how I wanted this talk to go. I wish I didn't keep annoying Hijiri. I'm trying to look out for her, really, I am, but she's not making things easier for me. She's so covered in prickles, she reminds me of a hedgehog. Why is she trying so desperately to keep her distance from me? She isn't afraid of me, is she? I'm tempted to ask, but I don't know. That would only inflame Hijiri's ire further. For the time being, I think I best let the subject drop. Alright, I won't nag you about your sleeping patterns, but you should really eat more. I'll be in charge of making all the meals, breakfast, lunch, and dinner. I'll take care of everything, so you don't need to worry. We can eat together if you'd like. Hijiri snorts as if the way to say, why would I want to eat with you? This stings, but it's about what I expected. But I can always bring your meals up to your room if you prefer it. I'll knock on your door, then leave them there. Just put the dirty dishes outside when you're done so I can wash them up. Does that sound alright? Alright. Hijiri relents with a small nod of her head. We can do that. I won't promise to eat everything you make, not if I don't like it, but I'll give it a go. I had some doubt about your culinary skills, but... Hijiri toys with her sleeves. Am I seeing things, or is that a faint blush I can see staining her cheeks? That stir-fry you made yesterday wasn't that bad. Really? My heart swells with hope. Finally, we're getting somewhere. Did you like it? Well, I don't know if I would go that far. It was edible at the very least, which I suppose isn't too surprising. It was a very simple meal. I wouldn't mind trying more of your dishes, though. At the very least, I don't think they've given me food poisoning. You don't think that, but you're not sure? Anything could happen. I still don't trust you yet. Right. I smiled awkwardly. That's not exactly high praise, but I suppose I'll take it. I need to celebrate these small victories with Hijiri while I can. I suspect meager concessions are all I'll be getting in the imminent future, until Hidri learns to stretch me, which might take months. Excuse me. Will I still be here in a few months, or will Hidri have tired of me? I wouldn't be surprised at all if she sent me packing back to Kawasaki. I'd be pretty sad if that came to pass. But no, I can't let myself dwell on such unfortunate possibilities. Hidri won't send me away, not if I work my hardest. I'll make myself indispensable to her until she has no choice but to accept me and to love me. My plan really is foolproof. Oh, bruh. This is giving, like, a definitely crazy dedicated fan. I'm pretty sure there's, like, an anime similar to this. I think it's a newer anime where I think, some girl ends up doing housework for one of her idols, like, who's a singer. But, like, I guess that guy is, like, very depressed or whatever. Something along those lines. I don't know. I don't know what you're thinking, but it's probably something stupid. Knock it off. How could you tell? You have had this weird smile on your face. It's giving me the creeps. Oh, right. I'm sorry. I've got to be more careful around Hidri. For such an expressionless girl, she sure is good at reading other people's emotions. So, I'll handle the cooking like I said, but I can't cook without any ingredients. The kitchen's barren. Aren't there any instant noodles left? Well, yes, but... And rice crackers? There's a whole box of them, but... Then the kitchen isn't barren. You're exaggerating. I think you're being a bit pedantic. I'm a writer. What do you expect? I work with words for a living. I can't help but be pedantic about them. Much like you can't help being an interfering busybody. Alright. I'll give you that. I sigh. Elf-Forest is such a fun series. I never imagined its author would be so joyless. Then again, I also thought up until very recently, Elf-Forest was written by a man. You can't live on instant noodles and rice crackers alone, though no matter what you might think, I want to get some proper food into you. Noodles and rice crackers are proper food. I can put them in my mouth and they give me nutrients. Not nearly enough. You need some veggies in your diet too, and meat, and rice. Ugh. Hidri grimaces. That sounds like a lot of food. It's a wholly appropriate amount of food that's necessary if you want to grow up healthy. I'm 28 years old. In case you hadn't realized, I've done all my growing already. I'm not going to get any taller than this, no matter how many florets of broccoli you stuff into my mouth. I'm stuck being a shorty. Maybe I want to retort, if you ate more healthily, you wouldn't be so tiny. The words are on the tip of my tongue, but I swallow them back. I can't imagine they accomplish much other than provoking Hidri's temper. I wonder if she has a complex about her looks, like Astra does about her flat chest. You might be short, but food can replenish your stamina. Now, can you tell me where the nearest supermarket is? We need provisions, a whole load of them. There's a convenience store near the train station, but it's about 15 minutes away, and it's pretty small. They don't have much of a selection. So there is a convenience store out here. I was wondering about that. I guess I must have missed it. If you want to buy a lot of food, you need to go to the next town over. There's a big family mart there, which sells almost everything. That's where Say goes when she buys me groceries. Don't you ever buy groceries yourself? That's too much effort. Yeah, I figured as much. That's a stupid question. I guess I'll head on over to Family Mart then. How far away is it? By car, about 20 minutes. By bus, good luck. Hidri spires thinly. Public transportation around here is atrocious. There's only a couple of bus routes through this village, but they always get delayed. They stop off at every little village along the way to the next town, too, so getting there can take over an hour. The roads are bumpy and the seats are uncomfortable. It's not a pleasant experience. I could have figured that out much myself, without subjecting myself to whatever little this village has in the way of public transportation. This village is so small, I'm surprised any buses come by here at all. Then again, I suppose it does have that train station. Could the population be higher than I thought? If you want to go shopping, you should really should take the car. It's parked out front. I hope you can drive because I'm not going to. Don't you feel like it? It's a pain. I wonder why you have a car at all if you never use it. I shake my head. Fortunately for the two of us, I can drive. You can? Uh-huh. I got my license a couple of years back. I've never really needed to use it. Public transport over in Kawasaki is pretty good, but I figured it might come in handy. Why do you ask anyways? Are you surprised? Somewhat. I didn't think you would have the coordination required to handle a vehicle. I worried about that myself too. I failed my tests 6 times until I finally passed. That was a huge weight off my shoulders. I've not driven since then, so I'm probably pretty rusty, but it should work out fine. You're not filling me with much confidence here. Please don't total my car. I haven't had a chance to put you on my insurance yet. That would be a disaster. I'm sure it'll be fine. I have faith in me. You might, but I don't. Goodness. I wonder where all this ill-founded confidence of yours comes from. I'm just trying to be optimistic. So, are you going to come with me? I'm not very familiar with this area, so I'll need somebody to give me directions. Can't you use the sat-nav? I don't know if I trust it. I don't want to be led around in circles or over the side of a cliff. There aren't any cliffs around here. You'd have to get spectacularly lost to fall down one. But you raise a good point. I'd rather go back to sleep, but... Hidri looks me up and down with her lips pursed. I don't know if I can. I'm awake, so I might as well accompany you. You need somebody to keep an eye on you. I think this is a classic case of the pot calling the kettle black, but I choose not to comment on it. Instead, I offer Hidri a wide smile. Thanks, Hidri. I'm sure we'll get there in no time with your advice. Hopefully. Just don't get into an accident, alright? I'll be super careful. Don't you worry. For some reason, this isn't very reassuring. Hidri clicks her tongue. You owe me for this. I thought we were going to a supermarket, not a restaurant. I have no idea how you ever managed to pass your driving test. With luck, trust, and a bit of pixie dust, of course. Ugh. Hidri glowers at me. You're being far too cavalier about this. You could have killed us with your reckless driving. Could have been the operative word. Words. In the end, we didn't die, and that's all that matters. The car doesn't even have any dents. Thank goodness for that. If you gotten us into an accident, I'd have your liver as a payment. Cars aren't cheap, and they're most certainly not toys. I know. Do you really? Hidri looks at me incredulously. I wish I could believe you, but after your shockingly poor performance on the road, I really do wonder. You stalled the car not just once, but you would have been bad enough, but twice you almost ran into a sedan. I swear I could see my life flashing before my eyes. You're going to give me PTSD. Was my driving really that bad? Yes, it was bad. It was very, very bad. If it weren't so inconvenient, I'd be tempted to take the bus back. Sorry, Hijiri. I smiled abashedly. It's been a while since I was behind the wheel. Like I said, I must have forgotten a few things. Like how to indicate? But I think I've got the basics down now. Going back shouldn't be as bad. Well, it can't possibly be worse. Not unless you actually succeed in killing us this time. I'd never want to kill you, Hijiri. You're my favorite author of all time. You should know that. I'll take really good care of you. You'll see. Because you've done such a good job at that already. Hijiri kicks me beneath the table. It hurts, but I don't scorn her for it. I probably deserve it. There's room for improvement, I know, but at least I got us here without any bruises. That's something, right? That should be the bare minimum when it comes to driving. But as you have a hard time doing even that, I suppose I should be thankful. Hijiri her arms folded and glances about our surroundings. We were able to make it to the next town over despite Hijiri's continued complaints, and now we're sitting at our first stop on the trip, namely Petite Jardin. Hijiri asked if we could come here to eat breakfast. Apparently she's a big fan of Petite Jardin's pancakes. Petite Jardin is a popular chain, one I'm well acquainted with. There's a whole bunch of them in Tokyo. This particular Petite Jardin might be out in the sticks, in the tiny diorama of a town, but it looks pretty similar to the ones I've been to before. In fact, it's almost identical. The floor is burnished wood, the couches are candy apple red, and there's posters tacked to the wall, blown up food items on the menu, hamburgers and sundaes, and the like. I could be back in Kawasaki again. I guess if I was feeling cynical, I'd say all these chain stores and eateries are robbing Japan's smaller towns of their unique charms and drubbing independently owned businesses out of the market. But I actually don't care all that much. Petite Jardin's been around since like the 1970s, and I don't think it's going anywhere anytime soon. Besides, I think the familiarity of it is kind of relaxing. It's not yet lunchtime yet, and the restaurant's pretty dead. There's a few other customers sitting at the tables, but they're sitting far enough away from us that I can't hear them. I glance out the window, my chin cupped with one hand, and survey the streets. Petite Jardin's decor might be the same old, but the town it's situated in it absolutely is not. This town's more built up than the village Hijiri lives in, but that's not saying much. This place has nothing on Tokyo or even the quieter parts of Kawasaki. There aren't any high-rise buildings as far as I can see. I wonder how many people live around here anyway. There can't be all that many. I'm busy pondering this when... Here you go. I'm sorry for the delay. The waitress who took our order some 10 minutes prior bobs up to our table, all smiles. She's holding a tray in her hands, laden with our orders, orange juice and pancakes for Hijiri, beef and egg over rice with oolong tea for me. I know beef's a bit heavy for breakfast, but we're all past normal breakfast hours. It's like 11, and I'm hungry. I haven't eaten since I had that tomato and egg stir fry last night, which wasn't super filling. The waitress hands us our orders, then bows. Please let me know if you need anything else. I'd be happy to help. She turns and heads briskly to the entrance to usher in a new group of guests. All thoughts of changing tables have vanished from my mind. I stare at the food, practically salivating. It smells so good, I can't wait to dig in. Thanks for the food. I lift a piece of braised beef to my lips and blow on it. I let it cool down for less than a second and pop it into my mouth. Maybe I should have waited a bit longer for it to approach a more reasonable temperature, but it tastes so good I don't care that it's burning my mouth. This beef is so delicious I could cry. Oh. Hidri, for her part, looks transfixed. I got achievement. Sweet devil. Hidri satisfies her sweet tooth. Oh, but she looks cute. Hidri, for her part, looks transfixed by her stack of fluffy pancakes. She's not said a thing about my driving skills or lack of since she received them, and neither has she commented on my poor table manners. Her brown eyes are wide and her face looks faintly blushed. I don't know if I've ever seen her look this openly excited before. Hidri exudes an aloof aura almost 24/7 despite her short stature, which makes it very apparent she has 4 years on me. But right now she reminds me of a middle schooler or even a little kid, eagerly unwrapping their Christmas present. I guess I can't blame her for that though. Her pancakes do look very pretty, and there's 4 of them. All told, they are perfectly round, all thick and fluffy. The pancakes are drizzled with maple syrup with glisten in Petite Jardin's Light and a generous spat of butter. I wonder how many calories are in those. I'd probably be better off not thinking about that. Hey Hidri, aren't you going to eat those? I get wanting to admire them, but they'll get cold. Oh, right. Hidri takes her knife and fork in hand and then saws into the topmost pancake. She brings a square of fluffy, pancakey goodness up to her lips, blows, and eats it. I watch as she chews, then swallows, her throat convulsing. What the heck? So what do you think? Are these pancakes worth enduring my awful driving? That's a bit of a stretch, but... Hidri sets her knife and fork down, then returns my smile with a small one of her own. They are pretty good. Aw shucks, Hidri's attitude might be as surely as hardened sailor, but she's really cute when she smiles. Hooray. Our breakfast, if it can be called that, consumed, Hidri and I leave Petite Jardin and head to the supermarket. My hair swishes as I walk and the heels of my sneakers thud against the ground. I have a few cuter pairs of shoes with actual heels brought over in my suitcase by Say, but I decided to forego those for a day's trip. I'm not confident enough in my driving to risk it with heels, and hauling shopping bags full of groceries about in them isn't the best of ideas. If I was like Nina, I'd say screw it and go with the heels even if they kill me, but I'm not willing to lay my life down or Hidri's on the altar of fashion. I'm not as hardcore about these things as Nina is. I think I cut a distinctly more stylish figure than Hidri, but she's not putting up any real competition. Damn. Mayo just said, I know I look good compared to this one. I passed the clothes stores by, though not without sparing at the sundresses and the shirts in the windows a wistful glance. I can't help but dress Hidri up in my head like a paper doll. She's pretty short, so I think long skirts are out. Their only highlight how stubby her legs are. She'd suit shorter skirts though, like that plaid mini or maybe shorts. The opportunities are endless. I love to watch her transform Hidri like Cinderella's fairy godmother. Oh! I pause, pulled from my musings by a storefront a few doors down from the Sephora. Not Sephora. A cardboard cutout of Astra is on display in the window of a local Kinokuniya. Astra's striking a dynamic pose with her sword in hand, her dark twin tails fluttering about her heart-shaped face. Astra's pretty cute, but she's not my favorite Elf Forest girl. That honor goes, of course, to Princess Luna. Astra is a pretty prominent character in Elf Forest, however, and that puts her a cut above all the light novel heroines as far as I'm concerned. Look at that, Hijri. I nudge Hijri on the side, then point at the standee of Astra. It looks like Kuno Kuni is busy promoting Alforus. They must be gearing up for the release of the 9th volume. Isn't that cool? Not really, no. Hijri doesn't bother to turn her head despite my prompting, and neither does she stop. She walks on heads, her soul slapping against the asphalt. Hey, what? Hijri, wait! I dash to catch up with her, my hair swishing as I do so. Don't you like seeing your own characters being promoted? I bet any other author would be thrilled. Maybe they would, but I'm not any other author, and don't shout. Hijri does pause at this and glances at me, but I don't like the expression on her face. Her brow was furrowed and her lips were pulled into a frown. It's quite the marked change from how she was at Petit Jardin, chowing down happily on her pancakes. I was thinking Hijri was quite cute back then, but I might have to reconsider my statement. If she keeps glowering like that, her pretty face is going to waste. I don't want people knowing who I am. I use an alias for a reason. Oh yeah, I guess you're right. I'm sorry about that. I just thought you'd be, I don't know. I scuffed to the ground with the tip of my shoe. Happy, I guess, that your series is so popular? It wouldn't have such a massive display in Kunia if it wasn't. I'm only too aware. The royalties I receive every month speaks volumes. Horizon takes a big chunk of my earnings, but there's always a lot left over. If L4's popularity did take a sudden nosedive, I'd be the first to know about it. I'd be hauled into all sorts of annoying meetings with Horizon's higher-ups. If things got really bad, the series would be axed. That's how things are done in this industry. Huh? No way. Wouldn't you even get a chance to wrap things up? I might be given a volume to conclude everything, but it might not. It depends. But what about the fans? They'd be really upset. They'd have to suck it up. At that point, the ball would be out of my court. But you've worked so hard on Elf Force. It has something no other light novel has. The characters all feel so real, and all their conflicts too. Elf Force's fate shouldn't be determined solely by how much money it makes. There's no way that's fair. Life isn't. Hijri shrugs. Horizon is a business first and foremost, and making money matters. The actual quality of the stories they publish is negligible. Elf Force continues existence shouldn't attest to that much. I'm speaking about hypotheticals, though. Elf Force would be cancelled like any other light novel series if it saw a huge drop in sales, but that hasn't happened yet. It's still doing well, unfortunately. Excuse me. Hijri clicks her tongue. Does she not like writing her novel? Or maybe it's like, you know, in Please Be Happy, how like Aspen had to do revisions and like whatever she's doing. Like maybe Hijri also has to do revisions that like she doesn't want. My superiors want me to keep churning out volumes for as long as is writable. I thought I'd wrap things up by volume 3, but they had other ideas. Elf Force is even more profitable than they anticipated. Now I'm afraid I'll be stuck writing it until I'm in my 30s. Wow, really? That's great news. I feel awful if Elf Force was cancelled. I could read about Itsuki's adventures all day, so long as he gets together with Luna in the end, of course. I can't wait to read more of it, Hijri. I'm super excited about the next volume. Volume 8 ended on such a cliffhanger. I know I probably shouldn't ask, but can you give me a few hints of what'll happen next? Itsuki will end up reuniting with Valuna, won't he? Surely he has to. What's going on with Luce anyway? She's not really plotting a rebellion with the Arcanist, is she? I stare at Hidri expectantly, all smiles. But Hidri, it seems, has already tired of this admittedly one-sided conversation. She turns her back on me, and not before I catch the scowl on her face. Like I tell you anything, you're delusional. Oh, I'm sorry, I guess it's supposed to be a secret, huh? You don't have to spoil the beans, but I'm really curious. It's been 7 months since L4's last volume came out. There's never been such a long delay between them. Volume 9 better be super juicy to make up for it, but I'm sure it will be. I have faith in you, Hidri. I'm trying to cheer Hidri up, but it seems like my words are having the opposite effect on her. Uh-oh. Hidri's fingers clench into a fist, her slender shoulders tremble. Then very softly she murmurs under her breath. Don't. What? I stare at Hidri's back, blankly comprehending in the face of her fury. I can tell I've upset her, but how? I don't get it. I thought I'd make you happy if you knew about my feelings for... I said don't. Hidri repeats more forcefully this time. She spins her about to face me, and when she does, I see that expression is infuriated. Don't tell me how you feel about Elf Forest. I don't want to hear it. I don't need to hear it. I'd be happier if I never had to talk about Elf Forest again. But why? Why do you care? I care because I care about you. I want to get to know you better, and I absolutely don't want to upset you. I think it's a bit too late for that. Hidri turns her back on me once more, her arms folded. She seems to have regained some of her composure, but her tone, when she speaks, is glacial. I'm going back to the car. I'm tired. You can go grocery shopping if you like or not. I really couldn't care less what you do. What? Hidri, wait. I call after her to little avail. Hidri's already marching off. I observe Hidri's marching back until she turns a corner, then vanishes from view. Then I sigh. It's such a deep sigh. It feels like my lungs are being compressed in a vise. It's clear that I offended Hidri, but I have no idea how. What did I do wrong? Womp 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 womp. Okay. We are gonna just do a quick little save right here. Save, yes, and I will be right back. Alright, we're back. Time to return. After that episode, Hidri didn't deign to speak to me for the rest of the day. I go to the supermarket alone, buy all our groceries alone, then head back to the car, staggering under the weight of all my combined purchases alone. Hidri is waiting for me when I get back to the car, sitting with her arms folded in the passenger seat, but she doesn't rise to help me put my shopping away. She remains stoic, stony-faced, and tight-lipped. Throughout the journey back, she doesn't even scold me when I run a red light, though she does click her tongue in irritation. I try to strike a conversation, but it's to little avail. Hidri blanks me. She storms out of the car the moment I park up outside her extravagant home, then heads inside. By the time I can follow suit, my hands beleaguered for 4 bags full of shopping, Hidri is nowhere in sight. She must have locked herself in her bedroom. She's obviously upset, but why? I really don't get it. I only meant to compliment Hidri on her writing. I'm sure any other author would be happy to receive such words of praise, but Hidri, as she told me stiffly, isn't any other author. She's probably by herself, which means she could only react as herself. I guess that should go without saying, but the trouble is I don't know Hidri all that well. I've only spent 1 day with her. If I was more familiar with her temperament, it'd be easy for me to predict her reactions, but I can't do that. I have to walk on eggshells instead, afraid that any offhand comment, no matter how incautious, might set her off. What does she want from me exactly? Sad though it is to say, I think I could at least get what the answer is. I think she wants me to leave her alone. A couple of weeks pass by, during which nothing of note happens, not unless you could count Hidri hiding away in her room for almost 14 days, non-stop as something significant. I make Hidri meals 3 times a day and leave them outside her bedroom door as instructed. I tried to strike a conversation with her during these times, but to little avail. She answers, but with stock perfunctory responses as or ah, or which soon make me give up. I don't think there's any point in trying to force a conversation with her. That'll only make her hate me more. Now I really am beginning to wonder, does Hijiri hate me? This thought plagues me throughout my days as I attend to my chores. I can't forget the way Hijiri looked at me the other day outside Kinokuniya. Her brow was all forward just like pinched bread dough, and her eyes were narrowed with disdain. Hate might be too strong for a descriptor to apply to an understated woman like Hijiri, but I'd be a fool to believe that she might like me after all that. Hijiri lets me live in her home, but she won't talk to me, not properly. It makes our living arrangement rather awkward, to say the least. The problem is, though, with Mayo right now, she's taking this as if she's, like, not taking it as a job, but she wants to take it as if she's, like, kind of entitled to talking with her employer, when that is not the case. Just because your employer is, does work that you favor doesn't mean that you could personally be a part of their life if they don't want you to. Things aren't as bad as they could be. I suppose because Hijiri almost never leaves her room, I don't have to worry about bumping into her in the hallway or in the kitchen or the garden. She keeps her distance and I keep mine, save for regularly delivering her meals, but I think that makes matters even worse. We might argue again if we saw each other, sure, but that also presents us with an opportunity to talk our feelings out. Face to face, we could fix this rift between us, I'm sure of it. Face to face, however, is a different matter. I can't get a read on Hijiri's expressions if she won't show them to me. Her lack of sustainable replies is dispiriting, and talking to a person I can't see makes all of our interactions, if you could call them that, feel forced and unnatural. I'd almost take an argument over this continued silent treatment. At least that helped me gauge where I stand with her. I wish Hijiri would give me a hint about what exactly I did wrong. She doesn't seriously intend to ignore me forever, does she? It makes me feel pretty rotten, like I'm worth next to nothing in her eyes. It feels like I'm not even worth her anger, nor any of her other emotions, and definitely not her attention. Hijiri doesn't make much noise up in her room. Sometimes when my thoughts drift, I forget she's even there. Hijiri's home is a large one, and I have no shortage of jobs to do, but when I finish up for the day, I'm left feeling empty. It doesn't matter how hard I work on it, it's never enough to shake my lingering dissatisfaction. I never thought I'd miss my mother continue nagging, but I take that over Hijiri's almost aggressive lack of communication. Bruh. Yeah, no, she's treating this as if she's, like, entitled to have a personal connection with the author, who just happens to be her employer. And it's like, no. You're not entitled to do anything. You're here for a job. I'm starting to think that Sei was right when she said I should appreciate my mother more. My mother scolds because she cares. If she didn't care, she'd never speak to me at all. She'd be just like Hijiri. I paused while washing the dishes, my head bowed. That's the long and short of it, I guess. Hijiri probably doesn't hate me, but she speaks to me so little it's hard to tell. She simply doesn't care about me, full stop. Apathy should be easier to deal with than outright hatred, but part of me thinks it's even more soul-crushing. Nobody likes feeling unwanted. I've borne this for a fortnight, but I don't know if I'm strong enough to endure much more of this. I should try to speak to Hijiri. It's unlikely I'll get a reply, but I have to. I abandoned the dirty dishes in the sink. They can wait for later. and quit the kitchen with a newfound sense of purpose. I enter the hallway, then take the stairs 2 at a time. I feel winded when I arrive at Hijiri's door, but I don't pause to get my breath back. I'm afraid if I were to do that, I lose all my acquired nerve. It's not like I have much of that left. The oppressive silence of this place, Hijiri's home, and the village that surrounds it, all taken all the fight out of me. I draw back my right arm, then wrap my knuckles smartly against Hijiri's door. Hijiri? Hey Hijiri, are you awake? There's something I want to talk to you about. Hijiri doesn't respond, but I hear a stirring of sheets from within her room. She must be awake, I'm sure of it. It's almost 14 now, and the sun's high in the sky. Not even Hijiri lies in this late, despite her disordered sleeping schedule. At least I don't think she does. I suppose it's always possible she woke up to eat breakfast, then curled up under the covers and resumed her unseasonal hibernation. Hijiri? I knock again, more urgently this time. I don't care whether she's asleep, half awake, or whatever. I just want to talk to her. It's ridiculous that we should live in the same house and not speak. Again, you're here for a job. Oh my god. Hijiri's not a ghost, though. She might be an elusive one. And she isn't suffering from an infectious disease, despite her rigorous self-imposed quarantine. There's really no reason why she shouldn't interact with me. Don't ignore me, Hijiri. I know you're there. Can't you come out? I want to talk to you. I knock again and again, giving no quarter. My rapping grows louder as my desperation mounts until... Alright, I'm listening. Jeez. I hear Hijiri click her tongue through her bedroom door. She's obviously annoyed at my intrusion, but I don't care. I'm relieved to hear her speak. It feels like a small eternity since she honored me with a response longer than a single syllable. Gratitude rushes through me, quick and sweet like trickle, though I try to suppress it. Don't be so thankful, Mayo, you dummy, I chastise myself. Speaking when spoken to is just like common courtesy. Hijiri doing the bare minimum, nothing more. This doesn't make up for the rotten way she's treated you. She didn't treat you anything. I mean, besides kind of just letting you do all the shopping and, like, you know, not helping at least bring it inside. That's understandable. But then again, she's your employer. She technically doesn't have to do anything. So, and it's not like she's harassing you. She's not making things difficult for you, just besides not talking to you. That itself is already the bare minimum. Doesn't really have to do anything. That's not part of your job description. I know that logically, but it really has been a long time since I missed hearing her voice. I'd almost forgotten what it sounded like. Now, if only she showed me her face. Don't you ever get tired of listening to yourself speak, Mayo? Oh, Hijiri's still talking. I must really have nettled her to prompt a reaction like this. You're being so loud. Did you ever consider that I talk at just the right volume and you're far too quiet? No. That was quite a fast answer. Succinct, too. That sure showed me. So, what is it? Out with it. I can't see Hijiri's face through the door that separates us. I don't have x-ray vision, but I bet she's scowling. She's rather predictable. I hope you have a legitimate reason for hammering on my door like a maniac. You know I hate being interrupted. There isn't a fire, is there? No, it's just... Then the issue, whatever it is, it can't be that serious. Hijiri sounds so exasperated, I can hear the eye roll inflict in her words. If there's an emergency, services don't need to be involved, neither do I. Now leave me alone. But Hijiri... I try to entreat her, one hand clasped at my front. It's hard to communicate through a door, but I'm doing my best. It's such a nice day. I was thinking of going for a walk. Won't you come with me? So, that's what this is about. What do you think I'll say, Mayo, knowing all you know about me? I think no. I know, you'll turn me down, but... Well, there you go. You have your answer. Enjoy your walk. You'll be doing it alone. But I want to talk to you, Hijiri. My voice rises in both pitch and volume. I'm feeling desperate now, and my legs are trembling. We've been living together for a couple of weeks now, but we've barely spoken. It's obvious I've done something to offend you, but I don't know what that is. I'm afraid I'll never know, not if you don't come out and tell me. Excuse me. Can't we have a proper conversation? I'm sure we can move past this. I just want us to be... What? Friends? Hijiri interjects, her voice dripping with condescension. Don't be stupid. You and I both know that's not what this is about. You're my employee, and I am your employer. You clean the house and cook my food, and I pay you for it. Exactly. That is the full extent of our so-called relationship. I'm not interested in getting to know you, and I am absolutely not interested in being your friend. There you go. It's said straight right there. She is not obliged to be getting personally invested in Mayo in any shape or way or form. But Mayo seems to always be persistent. And at that point, persistence can lead to big no-no. But, Hijiri... No, there are no buts. I've had enough of this conversation. Cut it out, Mayo, or I'll kick you out. I can do that. This is my house, after all. You're here at my discretion, and don't you forget it. I open my mouth, rebuttal forming on the tip of my tongue, but I can't vocalize any of them. I already know that what I have to say doesn't matter. How can Hijiri ever see eye to eye with me if she refuses to even meet me face to face? This is a lost cause. Of course I knew that before I rapped on Hijiri's door. I hoped that if I put enough care to expressing my feelings, she might be persuaded to consider them. I was wrong. Hijiri is every bit as stubborn, if not more, than I thought she was when we first met. It's not even stubbornness. It's like if you don't want someone to continuously bother you, then, like, that's it. No means no, period. End of story. Mayo, right now you're nothing but just an obsessed fan. And it's showing. It's not making your character look good. Ugh. She's becoming like that one creepy stalker in Hell of a Boss that was really into Fizz, and when Fizz was doing his kind of like, you know, backstage meet and greet or whatever, that fan came up and who was super obsessed with him, but started throwing all these ideas at them, and when Fizz rejected them, they kind of went crazy. Mayo is kind of giving that little vibe of it. She just won't stop pursuing. It's a lovely day. I ponder while walking through the forest. The sun is high in the sky, which is a powdery blue, and the birds are chirping among the branches. Beautiful though it is, however, I can't enjoy it, not properly. I intend to take a relaxing walk to cool off after my spat with Hijiri, but I've only accomplished half of what I set out to do. I've gotten the walking part down. Pat, I've done so much of that. My feet are starting to ache, but relaxing? How can I when I can't tear my mind away from Hijiri? Jeez, what the hell is her problem? Bruh, she told you her problem. It's you. Oh my god. No one has to tell you what their problem is personally with whatever they say. And you don't need to go digging your nose up anyone else's problems either. I kick at the nearby tree stump, which has a thick base fringed with moss and fungus. A few white cat mushrooms are pulverized by the tip of my sneaker, but catch me caring. Mushrooms are kind of gross anyway. Aren't they parasites? They sprout from dead trees and then they feast on whatever nutrients they can glean. Opportunistic little fuckers. Oh, I wasn't expecting her to cuss. Okay. That's a little shocking. I wonder if that's how Hijiri sees me. To her, I bet I'm nothing more than a parasite. I mean, you're kind of acting like one, if I'm being honest. I like to think I'm prettier than a mushroom. I put quite a lot of effort into my appearance, but I did kind of end up attaching myself to Hijiri at Sei's behest. Hijiri made it clear from the get-go that she didn't want me around. She said as plain as day that she had no use for a housekeeper. It was only after a bunch of cajoling on Sei's part that Hijiri eventually gave in. If it weren't for Sei's best efforts, Hijiri most likely would shoot me away. Maybe it was wrong of me to hope he might become more than employer and employee. That's on you, girl. Hijiri's under no obligations to be my friend, but she could be a little nicer about it. Not really, no. She's like, it's not professionalism, but it's like, direct. It's straight. If it was on contract, these are the do's, these are the don'ts, these is your job description, what you need to be done, and that's all there was to it. Granted, they didn't sign anything, but even though she's still paying her for her services, not conversation. She doesn't need a buddy. I mean, technically she didn't need a housemate either. But, she's giving Mayo a chance. And Mayo is kind of just ruining it for herself. Mayo's annoying. Mayo's pulling a frickin', what's her face? I already forgot. The girl, main character girl from the last game. Miho, there you go. She's really pulling a Miho. What is me? Look at me. Wait. Anyway. Why she's gotta be so rude? I give the tree stump another kick for good measure. I don't put too much force into it. I don't want to hurt myself, but my foot still smarts. It's with a heavy sigh I flop down on the tree trunk, one leg crossed over the other. The tree trunk's covered in a leaf mold which probably stain my skirt, but I don't really care. It's not like there's anybody else around here to see me my shame. Save for the birds with a few small animals hidden away in foliage, I'm all alone. I'll be alone when I go back to Hijiri's house too. I'll make Hijiri her dinner and I'll leave it by her door, but she won't invite me inside for a talk. When will I next see Hijiri's face? Will I ever get the opportunity? I just want her to talk to me. That's not asking for too much, is it? I don't know. Maybe I'm the one being unreasonable. Am I expecting too much from Hijiri? Yes, absolutely. I did end up muscling my way into her life, more or less uninvited. It's not like she ever wanted me to help her. I should have known she never wanted to be my friend, but I kept pushing her. I probably made her uncomfortable. I didn't stop to consider Hijiri's feelings when I started ranting about elf forests, so why would she consider mine? I raised my head, looking at the bower of the leaves above me and the blue sky beyond it. I bring one hand to my brow and fingers stained green with moss to blot out the sun. I might have read Hijiri's stories, but I don't know the first thing about her as a person. Up until a few weeks ago, I didn't know her real name. I didn't even know she was a woman. I told myself I knew her, but I didn't. Not really. We're total strangers. Hijiri doesn't owe me anything. If anything, I'm the one who owes her. She's doing me a huge favor. Yeah, no shit, Mayo. Glad you got that figured out. Jesus. The real question is, are you gonna change, Mayo? Are you gonna change? I shouldn't ask for more, not when she's giving me her money. I've done nothing to deserve her time. Laying things out aloud like this helps me come to the terms with matters. I've always found it easier to put my thoughts into words, especially when they get all naughty. It's easier to unpick the tangles this way. If anybody were to walk by me, they'd be pretty freaked out, seeing a woman chattering to herself on a tree stump. They probably think me deranged, or maybe in contact with magical forest spirits, so in other words, deranged and delusional. It'd be pretty hard work explaining myself and my predicament to a third party, but of course I no need to worry about that. Probably nobody passed me on these ill-trodden paths, least of all the person I want to see. I bet Hidri's still holed away in her room, doing whatever it is she does to pass the time. Meanwhile, on the other hand, I am way out here. I always try to look on the bright side, but... excuse me. Sniffling, I wet my eyes with the back of my arm. I don't feel great, but I don't want to cry about my plight. Not out here on my own, on a tree stump. That really would be pathetic. Later that night. Hey Mayo, it's been a while. Are you alright? I'm hanging in there. Why do you ask? It's just a feeling, is all. I figured you wouldn't call me for a while. You must have been busy settling into your new place. But it's already been, 2 weeks? Did something happen? Well... I inhale. That Nina's a smart cookie, I'll give her that. I've only just phoned her and she's already picked up on my less than stellar mood, despite the distance between us. She's back in Kawasaki and I'm out in the sticks, surrounded by hills and trees, but that doesn't seem to matter. Nina can read nobody's business. Nina can read like nobody's business. She's even more thorough about it than I was with the last volume of Elf Forest. You could say that, yeah. I lie back on my futon and stare at the darkened ceiling, my cell phone clutched on my right hand. I just got out of the bath and thought I'd towel myself down. My hair is still damp, it splays across my futon, all coiled up like swirling smoke. I'm wearing my pajamas, but it's so warm I had to kick the sheets aside. The sun sunk beneath the horizon a couple hours ago, but its heat lingers. We're in the heat of summer now, and the days are stretched out as long as it's possible for them to get like mochi. Is that why I feel so tired? Outside, beyond my closed doors, I can hear the humming of the cicadas and the undergrowth, but that's all. I can't hear any traffic on the road, nor any people passing the house, as I would back in Kawasaki. It's not even that late, but it's totally dead around here. It's just me and the cicadas and the phone pressed to my ear, connecting me, however, tenuously to Nina. Mayo. We're separated by 100 miles, not to mention a crapload of buildings, and hills and trees, but Nina's voice reaches me regardless. Technology sure is amazing. Mayo, what's wrong? You're so quiet. It's not like you. Sorry, I didn't mean to make you worry. I smile abashedly, not that Nina can see. I hope it gets across, though. She knows me so well, I figure she'd be able to pick up on it. It's just, a lot has happened these last couple of weeks. I've been busy settling in, like you said. I've not lived in such a large house before. I've got tons of work to do. Has your new boss been keeping you busy? Oh yeah, I've been making 3 meals a day, every day, which is a pain even though I like cooking, and that's on top of all other chores. I've got to sweep the floor, wash the dishes, fold the laundry, clean the bathroom, do the dusting. I feel exhausted just thinking about all the chores, so I decided to cut the list there. If I kept going, I'd be at this all night. Etc., etc. You get the idea. Wow. Nina whistles. It sounds like you've been busy. Tell me about it. I'm not used to working this hard. I have calluses on all my calluses, and my back hurts from all the sweeping. I think I finally know why my mom's always in such a bad mood, and why she kept nagging me to tidy my room. It kind of feels like my work will never end, and Hidri doesn't help, not that she's supposed to, I guess. She's hired me so I could help her, but I didn't realize I have so much to do. Hidri? I hear Nina quirk an eyebrow, her confusion impalpable in her voice. I thought you were working for Tsuchimi Ryu. What? Oh yeah. Shoot, I didn't mean to give that away. I wanted to keep Hidri's real identity a secret, but it just came out in the midst of all my belly aching. Why do I have such a big mouth? I'm so stupid. Can you just forget I said that, pretty please? Why? Is it supposed to be a secret? Yeah, Hidri, or maybe I should say Ryu, doesn't want too much to be info leaked about her. I mean, his private life. So, she's a woman. I never would have figured. I was certain Elforest was written by a creepy guy. Same here. Minus the creepy part. I was really surprised when I found out about it. I don't know much about Elforest, so maybe I'm talking out of my ass, but that's the impression it gives off, you know? I've seen the girl you like so much, Lunara, or whatever. Her name is Liluna, not Lunara, and it's definitely not whatever. Sure, I've seen Lunara. Is Nina doing this to spite me? How many times do I need to remind her? And she doesn't look like kind of character a woman would come up with. I mean, have you seen the size of her chest? Of course I have. Liluna's large chest is one of her charm points. I don't know. I don't really get the appeal myself. It seems so exaggerated. Did she get plastic surgery or something? No way. Don't be so crass, Nina. Liluna isn't that kind of girl. She's all natural. I mean, she's a fictional character, but whatever. Putting her chest to one side, her outfit is totally impractical. I don't know jack about royalty, but I don't think any princess would wear a skirt that short. Seriously, when I saw her design, I thought she was like from some pervy anime. Elforest has a few fan-servicey moments, sure, but they're not the main focus of the series. The story's actually really good if you try and get into it. Not that Nina will, she's not a big fan on reading in the first place, and all of Elforest's cute illustrations of wide-eyed anime girls don't appeal to her like they do to me. I think I'll pass. Yeah, I figured. Really though, I'm shocked. I never would have thought Elforest was written by a woman. Not that I was thinking about it all that much. I think Hidri prefers it that way. Don't say anything about it, Kay? As if I would. Nina sorts. Who am I gonna tell? You're like the only person I know who's into this kind of thing. None of my other friends care. Same here. I pout. I wish they would. You're not giving Elforest a fair shake. I know it might seem like a generic fantasy story, but it has a lot of layers. The arc where some of Liluna's father's scheming ministers try to assassinate her is particularly... I begin, but my voice trails off. I don't need to see Nina's face to know her eyes are glazing over. Anyway, maybe I should change the subject. Elforest, good stuff. I think it's really, really good, in fact. But if I start talking about it, I'll be here all night. I don't want to push you away, too. Oh, did something happen? Kind of, I guess. I'm not really sure. I don't get it myself because Hidri won't talk to me, but she's kind of being, weird. She's a writer. Aren't they supposed to be weird? I don't know. I've not met any other writers before. Maybe? Yeah, they're totally weird. Nina repeats herself with a touch more intensity. It sounds like she's warming to her subject. We studied Mishima a bit back in, 10th grade. I don't remember much, but he sounded like a total nutcase. If I spent all day shut up inside tapping out words on my laptop, or worse, a typewriter, I think I go mad. I don't like sitting still that much either. I don't know how Hijiri does it. She spends all of her time in her room. She almost never comes out, except to use the bathroom. At least I assume she comes out to use the bathroom. I've not seen her since the day I first got here. What? Really? Yes, really. She won't let me into her room, and she hardly ever speaks to me. I make her food, but she won't eat it downstairs. I have to leave the plates and dishes outside her door. She fetches them while I'm not there, and she leaves the dirty dishes out in the hall for me to clean when she's finished with them. I feel like I'm looking after an old woman with terminal illness. It's depressing. Damn, it's even worse than I thought. I figured she'd be estranged given her profession, but this goes beyond all my expectations. She sounds like she has a few screws loose. Either that, or she just plain hates you. You didn't do anything to upset her, did you? That's the thing. I don't know. I thought we could maybe be friends, but then... I wince as I recall once more the look on Hijiri's face the last time I saw her. I've turned this image over in my mind so many times, it's practically imprinted upon my insides of my eyelids. Don't tell me how you feel about Elf Forest. I don't want to hear it. I don't need to hear it. I'd be happier if I had never had to talk about it ever again. That's what Hijiri said before she stormed away. I remember it word for word. I don't know what it is that I said to set her off, but one thing seems pretty certain. I think she got mad at me because I was talking about Elf Forest. What? But why? That's the part I don't get. I was being really complimentary about it. I've told her I loved it and I couldn't wait for the next volume, and I was really excited to see where it was all going, and then... I don't know. She kind of exploded. Things haven't been right between us since then. Nina ponders for a few moments, and the other end of the line goes quiet, save for the faint hum of static and the rubbing of what might be a truck. I stare at my ceiling spread listlessly across the tatami. Though I had just had a bath, I'm starting to feel sweaty again. I fanned the hem of my pajamas with my free hand, trying to air myself out when... You didn't, pressure her or anything, did you? Pressure her? I frowned. What do you mean? I don't know exactly. I wasn't there, so it's hard to say, but you can get pretty intense about Elf Forest. I'm sure you're trying to be nice. I know how much you love the series. You, never shut up about it, but maybe Hijiri or Ryu or whatever took it as a dig. For all you know, she could be having a hard time working on the next volume. If she's suffering from writer's block or whatever, the last thing she'd want to hear is, I can't wait for the next volume to come out, right? I think that go a way of explaining why she's been avoiding you. And if that is the case, I don't think I'd blame her. Oh. I exhale. I see. I digest Nina's words slowly. My fingers curl tightly around my phone. I'd not consider it like that, but now that Nina's laid it out, I think she has a point. My gushing about Elf Forest might have made Hijiri uncomfortable. I didn't intend for that to happen, not at all, but maybe the end results mattered more than the intentions do. The fact of the matter is, I upset Hijiri. That is all on me. Ah, geez, I can't believe I didn't figure that out myself. I'm such a dummy. Well, I don't know if that's how Hijiri really feels. I'm just spitballing. It'd be easier if she came out and told you, so you didn't have to play guessing games. You might have made her uncomfortable, but I don't know if she's handling it in the most mature way. Then I guess we're both to blame? That's usually how it goes, yeah. That makes me feel a bit better, I guess, but it doesn't really solve our problems. I wonder what I should do. I pause for a few moments, pondering it, but my train of thought is soon interrupted by a tiny buzz. My phone is beeping. Wait a second. I just got an email. Sure. This is good timing, actually. I was just about to have a bath. Oh, right. I see. Do you want me to hang up? Maybe you should, yeah. You can call me tomorrow. I gotta be up early and it's getting kinda late. I guess it is, huh? Thanks for listening to me, Nina. I'm sorry for venting to you for like 20 minutes. I hope that wasn't too much of a pain. It's fine. It's nice hearing from you, actually. I was afraid you might have been, like, dismembered or something. Why is that the first thing your mind jumped to? I don't know. I can hear the shrug in Nina's response. You live in this countryside now, right? Anything could happen. Loads of horror movies are set out there. It's like super remote. It's too remote for any murders. Barely anybody lives out here. There might be a real shortage of people living where you are, sure. But what about dead people? They must outnumber you 2 or maybe 3 to 1. I'm sure it'll be fine. I don't believe in ghosts, and even if I did, Barney's in the cupboard. He'll keep me safe. Barney? It's a long story. I'll tell you later. No fair. You've gotten me interested. But my hair isn't gonna wash itself. I can't show up to beauty school looking like I've been dragged through a hedge. Night. Night. I say goodbye to Nina, then hang up. The silence that rushes me to meet is immense, alleviated by only the humming cicadas, but I feel less lonely than I did before I called. Talking to Nina always cheers me up. Smiling, I sit up, then check my emails. That email as soon as I discovered it's from Say. I open it up, then glance through it, my eyes scanning back and forth. It's quite a lengthy email, as Say corresponds often are. I sometimes wish she texts me, like most other people, but I guess sending emails is ingrained into Say's consciousness. It must come with being an editor. She opens the email by asking how I'm getting along, then processes with a few paragraphs of polite chit-chat. She rounds the email up by telling me that she'll be stopping by at midday tomorrow for a meeting with Hijiri, and she promises to bring some of my stuff from my parents' house along with her. This is a comfort. If nothing else, it'd be nice to see Say again, or any human willing to speak with me, actually, and I have been feeling pretty homesick. I hope Say can bring all my Elf Forest merch back with her. I miss looking at Luluna's smiling face. Maybe my new room won't seem as barren as it does now, with my waifu adorning the walls. That's crazy. I can but hope. Say comes over the following morning as she promised in her text. I hear her car pull out outside at the house around 11 and hastens outside to meet her. It feels like it's been a while since I last clapped eyes on Say. My life has changed a good deal since then, but Say herself looks the same as always, still dressed in the same black suits she favors. I usher Say and Fi, who follows without complaint. It's good to see you again, Mayo. Say addresses me while slipping off her shoes in the entrance hall. How have you been doing? Oh, well, you know, it could be worse. At least I'm still alive. You're doing as well as that, Now Sheila Say straightens her back and offers me a sympathetic smile. That's not exactly a ringing endorsement, though you look alright to me. Has Hijiri been treating you well? I guess. I rub the back of my neck with one hand. She hasn't spoken to me very much, if I'm being honest. Say nods thoughtfully. Has she been giving you the silent treatment? That's right. It's almost like she's trying to pretend I don't exist or something. If I'm being honest, it's kind of lonely. That's Hidri. Say clicks her tongue. I thought she might act this way, but I hope she'd be more mature enough to interact with you with a baseline of tact. Maybe that was wishful thinking on my part. She's so inconsiderate. That's no way to treat a guest. Not that you fall in that category, I suppose. At least I'm being paid to be ghosted. That's like a silver lining. Yes, indeed. That should make Hidri's prickly personality a touch more bearable, if nothing else. I'm not sure I'd be able to put up with her myself if I wasn't being compensated for it. I hope her company isn't too unbearable. What company? I hardly ever see her. Huh, well, point taken. It doesn't make me feel great, in all honesty, but... I sigh. I guess it could be way worse. It's not like Hidri's been actively abusing me. She hasn't put thumbtacks in my shoes or superglued in my shampoo. She's only ignoring me, which still hurts, yeah, but it's not a physical kind of hurt. It's bearable. I'll survive. See to it that you do. I don't think I'd be able to face Mayo again, knowing I'd only led her child to Roverbull Slaughterhouse. Just let me know if things get too much, alright? We can always walk back this arrangement if it's not sitting well with you. Don't feel obliged to suffer in silence. That would defeat the purpose of my offering you this job. I want to help you, Mayo. I know people spout platitudes like this all the time. When it comes to Say, I really do believe her. She's so earnest, not to mention mature, with her neat black hair and her neat black suit. I've known Say since I was a little kid. She seemed very wise and benevolent back then, a bit like a goddess turning business guru. She used to buy me small treats, toys, and candy whenever she stopped, which will only serve to endear me further to her. She was my childhood hero. I'm older now, as I say, but my youthful reverence for her has yet faded. When I'm with Say, I really do feel like things will work out. Thanks, Say. I appreciate it. There's no problem. Keep in touch, alright? If you feel unwelcome by the coming month, I really might consider calling this off. No amount of money is worth sacrificing your mental well-being, and if I'm being honest... Say's voice drops to a whisper. I doubt I could endure Hidri's company for as long as you have. You're doing great. I don't feel like I'm doing all that great, but... I return Say's lipsticky smile with one of my own. Thanks, I'll keep at it. Do your best, I'm rooting for you. Say squeezes my shoulder with one hand and glistens into the hallway. I suppose I can't keep delaying the inevitable. I'll need to talk to Hidri about her manuscript. Not that I much want to. Don't you like your meetings with Hidri? I can't say that I do, no. I'd mind them less if she ever had any good news to share with me, but as it is... Say sighs and then shakes her head for a second time. I feel like poor Michael must whatever she's obliged to contact the parents of her naughtiest students. Now this sounds familiar. I wonder. Has Mom been complaining about Keiichi again? At great lengths, yes. And about his mother too. She sounds like a nasty piece of work herself. Very self-important. She thinks herself far too perfect to have served an unruly son. She takes all criticisms leveled at him quite personally, or so your mother says. It is impossible to reason with people like that, not if they refuse to listen to you. Hidri is much the same. She's so hard-headed. I'm under no illusion that this meeting will be an awkward one for both of us, but alas, these things have to be done. I've only wished I wasn't the one who had to do them. Say looks exhausted and she hasn't spoken to Hidri yet. I have to wonder if her company is truly that demanding. Maybe it's a good thing that Hidri's been ignoring me, more or less, since I moved into her home. It's sad, but it sounds less stressful than whatever it is Say has to deal with. Is Hidri ready for our meeting, Mayo? She was in the living room, last I checked. I don't know if she's entirely ready, though. Don't tell me she's wearing another tracksuit. I nod. She looked half asleep, too. From what I glimpsed, the bags under her eyes were almost violet. That's how it is often with her, yes. At least she's awake for once. Is she not always awake when you stop by? I'd say it's about 50-50. Though even when she is ostensibly awake, it's clear the lights aren't all on. You think she'd make more of an effort. I always take pains to her the precise time I will be arriving, and yet... Say's voice trails off. She must have known that it's pointless raising such complaints with me. I'm not Hidri's PA. I'm just her housekeeper, because she smiles guilty. Oh, listen to me rabbiting on. It isn't very professional. I'm so sorry to keep you, Mayo. You can tend to the rest of your chores. I, meanwhile, need to have a few words with Hidri. Stern words? I like to avoid that if all possible. But she's been leading me on quite the merry song and dance these last few months. As much as I hate losing my temper, it may be inevitable at this juncture. Not that she'll listen, of course. She never does. Ooh. Say sets off the hallway, and she wraps her knuckles smartly against the living room door, then addresses Hidri through the door. Are you ready to begin our meeting, Hidri? I heard a shuffling from beyond the door, then a sullen reply. Do I have a choice? No, you don't. Then why ask? I thought I should at least be polite. Under her breath, I hear Say murmur, at least one of us should be. Say slides the door open, then steps inside the living room. She offers me another constrained lipsticky smile, which speaks of great suffering, before sliding the door shut once more. I stand in the hallway, arm held loosely at my sides, feeling about as useful as a crumped leaf curled up on the sidewalk. Which is to say, not very. Hidri's large house feels very cold, all of a sudden without Say at my side. I feel even more alone than I did upon waking this morning, which is actually something of a feat. What am I supposed to do now? I can imagine them now sitting around the wooden table, Hidri in her tracksuit, Say in her pristine and businesslike. They'll be discussing Hidri's progress on Elfor's latest volume in voices so low I can't overhear them. I shouldn't be trying to overhear them. Their meeting has nothing to do with me. I know I should leave things be. I'm sure there are a few chores I could be attending to upstairs, but I creep a little closer to the sliding door. I'm curious, I can't help it, and I want to know what it is exactly they're talking about. Has Hidri made much progress with Elfor's next volume? Say didn't seem very optimistic when we chatted in the entrance hall, but she's not been living with Hidri like I have. Hidri's been secreted away inside her room from morning until dusk, like a Tibetan monk. I don't know what she's been doing in there if she's not been working. Surely she's made some progress. I like Hidri to prove Say wrong, but... Have to say yourself. Say's voice drifted to me through the sliding door. It sounds sharper than usual, and I can't detect this distinct undercurrent of irritation. It's been, 5 minutes since the meeting began? I'm not sure. I don't have a watch to hand, but I've been hovering outside for a while. It doesn't sound like things are going well. I can't hear Hidri's reply. Her voice is too muffled, but Say's follow-up is intelligible enough. I won't accept any excuses. I've had it up to you with here. This volume was slated for release back in April. It should have been finished in March at the very least. It's been more than 3 months since then, and you've not even started. Huh? I'd assumed Hidri had been having some trouble with Volume 9, but with that unexpected delay between it and the previous volume, but I hadn't been aware things were this dire. I thought Hidri had made some progress on it at the very least. Has she really not written a single line? What then has Hidri been doing with her time during all these weeks, all these months? It doesn't seem like she has any pressing concerns, which would distract her from her writing. But then again, I don't know all much about Hidri, nor her struggles. She refuses to speak to me, let alone come up to me. Intrigued, I lean in a little closer to the sliding door, my ear pressed against the papery screen. If anybody were to walk by, I look pretty unscrupulous. I'm not trying to mask my eavesdropping, not that it really matters. It's not like there's anybody else in the house to see me. Gotta take a quick drink break. Smoothie. I think Hidri must be replying to say, her voice hushed because everything goes quiet. I can't pick out what Hidri is saying beyond a few murmurs, but Say's response, to my relief, is much more distinct. We can't keep pushing things back indefinitely. This isn't how the industry works. I've tried to be patient with you, but even I have my limits. If your carelessness only affected you, I wouldn't have to be so harsh, but Elf-Force is a popular series. Lots of people are vested interest in its success, people far more influential than I. Your inactivity is causing an untold amount of problems. I know you always have trouble sticking to your deadlines, but this really is beyond the pale. I'm not in the room myself, but Say's irritation is so palpable, I feel myself wincing. I'm glad it's not in Hidri's shoes. Not that she ever wears shoes indoors. Say is giving her a real thrashing. You're not a child, Hidri. You're an adult, and you ought to act like one. You can't keep shirking your responsibilities forever, in the hopes they'll go away. Real life doesn't work like that. I hear another vague murmur, courtesy of Hidri. The second passes, each one unbearably slow, until Say retorts. I understand that you've been struggling, but there comes a point where you can't afford to wait for inspiration. You need to start doing, regardless of what it is you want. All jobs are like that, Hidri. Do you think I want to scold you like a disappointed parent? I don't derive any enjoyment from lecturing you. I'd far rather have a pleasant conversation about the weather, but that would be irresponsible. I am your agent. Keeping an eye on you is my job. I am committed to it, no matter how uncomfortable it might make me. You need to approach your writing in the same way, otherwise you'll never make any progress. There's a brief lull in Say's impassioned speech, during which I assume Hidri offers a few words of resistance. I can barely hear Hidri, but I catch a faint resentful murmur of, me, then, if you hate it. I hear a rustling of fabric, courtesy of Say, perhaps, and a heavy sigh. Of course I won't drop you. I have faith in you. I'm sure you can turn this around. Elf-Force is a successful series despite its recent spate of delays. You have a lot of fans that didn't come by through sheer chance. I know you're a talented writer. You're simply in a rut, that's all. You need to try and clamber out of it, which shouldn't be beyond your means. I'm sure you can do it. You just need to put in the work. I know you're not the type to leave things unfinished. Don't let your own story defeat you. I think that would hurt you more than it would hurt me or any of your fans. If you can't write for the sake of other people, I want you to at least write for yourself. Isn't that why you became an author to begin with? Know anything? Hidri's response is fragmentary, but Say's answers give me a pretty good idea of what it was exactly she said. Now, you and I both know that isn't true. I flatter myself I know you rather well. I've been working with you for 4 years. Our professional relationship hasn't always been the best, largely due to your own stubbornness, but I do care for you. If I push you away, it's because I believe in you. I want you to reach your full potential. If you can do that, it would make all these awkward talks of ours worthwhile. And all my ranting too. I can hear the smile in Say's words with her next remark. Forgive me if I said anything untoward. None of my other writers rile me up quite like you do. You bring the worst out of me, and that might be a necessary evil if I'm to bring out the best in you in turn. I don't think there's much else for us to discuss right now, if you have nothing to show me. But please remember this. I'm hard on you because I care. If I didn't have any faith in your abilities, I wouldn't harangue you as much as I do. Great honor. Hidri replies dryly, to which Say laughs. It is an honor indeed. I do not often lose my temper. You're one of the few people who can bring it out of me. Now, if you never need any help, I'm only an email away. Don't be a stranger. I hear her shifting behind the sliding doors. Is Say getting up already? No way. Her so-called business meeting with Hidri, if it could be called that, lasted less than 15 minutes. I didn't think it'd end so soon. What if Hidri sees me spying on her? I hurry away from the door, but I don't have enough time to hide. It slides back too soon to reveal a Say who looks warier than the one I first welcomed to the house. Say's eyes meet mine. Then she smiles. Why, hello there, Mayo. I didn't know you were out here. Neither did I. It was quite the curious coincidence. What have you been doing during our meeting, Mayo? Oh, geez. She knows I was eavesdropping. She totally knows. I can see it in her face. At this point, it doesn't matter what I say or do. I'm going to make myself look suspicious regardless, mostly because I am. I'm really stinking suspicious, and there's nothing I can do to defend myself. Well... I run a hand through my hair distractedly, my face flushed. I was just sweeping up the hallway, that's all. Really? Without a broom? That is quite the feat. No, I was using a brush. Of the invisible variety? But I just got back from stashing it away in the kitchen store cupboard. Really, I did. Really? Hidri's lips purse. Would you be willing to swear that upon your mother's life? Do you want me to swear it upon her life? No. Hidri replies most magnanimously after a painful pause. My displeasure lies with you, not your mother. I wouldn't want her to suffer unduly for your crimes. Still, you could be a bit less obvious about it. You're so easy to read, it's almost offensive. Damn. Say soon departs, but not before handing me a cardboard box full of personal possessions she brought from my parents' house. Princess Liluna's pretty face stares up at me from the box, her eyes brighter than sapphires. Looking at Princess Liluna always fills me with an indescribable sense of inner peace. Well, I say it's indescribable, but I'll give it a shot. Looking at Princess Liluna is, for me, a little like eating cool ice cream while submerged in a tub of hot water. There's something super relaxing about it. It always sets my heart at ease. That's why Liluna is my #1 waifu, no matter what naysayers on the internet think. I know there's a sizable chunk of people who think Astra is the best girl, and Luz has a fair few fans of her own, but they're all wrong, categorically speaking. Princess Liluna really is the best. I think Say effusively for her thoughtfulness, then haul my box of goodies up to my room. Most of it is elf forest related, Say May tried to bring all over my wall scrolls, my figures, all my books, and even my Luna mug. She brought a few more practical pieces too, like my old desk lamp and my trash can, but it's the elf forest stuff that really makes me smile. I kind of feel like I've been reunited with an old lover. That's how much I adore Princess Luna. I adorned my walls with Luna's adorable face and arranged my elf forest figures on my drawers, and when I finished the room, it doesn't look quite as sparse as it once did. It's way more spacious than my old room, which dilutes the impact of all the elf forest merch a bit, but the large Luna wall scroll is just as impressive as always. I wonder what Hidri would say if she could see it. I can't imagine she'd have much or anything positive to say. But we'll cross that bridge when we get to it, if we ever get to it. Why would Hidri willingly enter my room? She seems to despise me, and if she didn't before, she probably does now. I recall the face Hidri made when Say opened the sliding door, and our eyes met across the threshold. Hidri looked surprised at first to be confronted with me, and then she scowled. If looks could kill, I'll be dead several times over. I don't want to end up like Barney, with my skin frayed off, stuffed inside a closet. It's anxious thoughts such as these would prompt me to leave the house once I have my room in order. I'm so worked up, not even Princess Luna can fully alleviate my concerns. Alright, I think I'm just gonna end stream right here. That was a lot of reading. So we went from 13 hours to 14. Okay, only 1 hour in game time passed. That's kind of funny. But yeah, that was a lot. They are... At least... Mayo's an idiot. But it's a good thing Nina told her what was up. And pretty much Mayo was just like, oh yeah, I guess I did kind of do the whole... bruh. But that was annoying. Mayo's kind of a fucking annoying person. I don't know. It's hearing her be so persistent is annoying. I know I'd definitely be mad if I already laid my boundaries and someone crosses my boundaries and it's like, why do you keep doing this? I already told you what was up. Why do you keep breaking those rules? You need to stop. But, yep, that is it for today's stream. Thank you so much. Until next time, take care. Have a good one.